Hello again, YouTube for like the millionth time now. A lot of videos. I think we're over like 500 videos now. I don't know, whatever. I'm not keeping track, but I think it'll tell me if I check. But it's a lot of videos at this point. Anyway, this one is probably one of the most important videos, I would think, because it's going to tell you a little bit about VGC, especially with that coming up in like, I don't know, a week or two. A lot of people are going to be going to VGCs, the regionals around like the country here in the U.S. At least. I'm not sure if they have them in other parts of the world, but here in the U.S. they're in April. So this is my screen from the winter regionals. I took a screenshot because actually you need to like close out of this in order to access your battle box again. So I took a screenshot really fast before I exited my battle box. So here we go. I actually ended up going 7-2. One of the losses was like a weird disconnect thing that happened, and I guess on the other one I don't know. But either way, I definitely did lose 2 times. I know it says 0 losses there. Hell yeah. But so there were 2. Yeah, like what happened is someone didn't have a charger, so we had to move our systems together. And for those of you that don't know, at VGC. It's via infrared. So like if you don't keep your systems close to each other and you detach, then it'll mess it up. So we were kind of like doing this while he was like plugged into the wall. It was kind of a weird thing anyway. So that's why it's not registering them for some reason. But yeah, so I ended up going 7-2. You can see right here on my screen. So that's it. That's the real thing. It's not like some fake. I don't just say I went 7-2 at VGC because I want you guys to think I'm credible or something. It's true. It happened, and so I want you guys to know that. That's the when I do build videos or things like that. Like I don't want you to think like I just go, oh yeah, man, look at my VGC record. It's real. So anyway, here was my winter regional in VGC. And this is my trick room team. That's what I brought to that particular VGC. Anyway, the real point of this video is to tell you exactly how everything's going to go. So I'm going to do that now. You're going to want to get there early, I think, because like the line can be crazy, and you're probably going to feel a lot of pressure about like registering, especially if it's your first one. If it's not your first one, then whatever, show up whenever you want. But for this one, there was a long line outside. You had to wait, and so maybe bring some snacks or hang out with a friend. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But just know there's most likely going to be a line. Anyway, once you go inside, there's like this area where a guy will check. Well, there was a guy in my case, but one of the what do they call them there? Professors or something, or professors' assistants. I forget what they call them. They will check your console and lock you into this like screen here or whatever. You can still exit your battle box and do some things, but make sure you have all the items that you want, everything on your Pokemon already. All the items and the right Pokemon, and I think that's it. Those things. That's what you want to make sure. So the other thing I think is that supposedly you can't use any Pokemon that are non-Kalos bred. Now I didn't test the system or anything. All of my Pokemon were born and raised in Kalos, and so they were all legit and good to go. I don't know if you want to try and sneak one past. I don't suggest it, but as far as I know, you better have that little hexagon. Is it a hexagon? Hexagon? Yeah? Yeah? No. It's a pentagon. You better have that little pentagon, and they better not be outside of the central Kalos. So he'll check them in, and then that's it. And then they take all the names and they print out this like spreadsheet that goes on like a wall, and you'll just go up to the wall and you'll go like, oh, okay, I'm number 17 or whatever. But then you move up as you win. You end up like moving up. So the first one doesn't really matter. I was like number 82, like for my very, very first battle or something. So so you just sit down at the table, and whoever else got number 82 will sit across from you. And then you put your consoles next to each other like this, like that, with the infrared there. But the thing is, like, it's really weird. I felt like I had a lot of problems connecting with my screen down. I don't know how you guys feel, but so I kept my screen kind of tilted up. Unfortunately, while I was playing, it was a little uncomfortable and annoying the way I had to look at it, but it connected a lot easier. And you have to hold your systems like kind of separate like this. Like their system will be over here because the infrared's on the left side of each system. So kind of weird. Don't hold them straight up to each other because then the infrared's not going to see it. You kind of have to hold them off center so that they link up. So these are all like little silly things that I'm sure you'll figure out within the first 5 seconds. But I might as well tell you at least so you don't go in with any sort of surprises. But yeah, so like I said, you read that, you go sit down, and then you sync up and you battle. There's a timer as well. I think you only get 15 minutes. I can't remember exactly. I apologize. So, if your strategy is to stall people out, well, good for you. Otherwise, I suggest trying to win within that 15 minutes. I think you're even really not supposed to stall people out, to be honest. I think that's kind of against the rules. I don't know how you could ever prove that someone stalled you out, but I don't think that they're really cool with that. They made an announcement actually when I was there. They're like, if you are forcing it to go to 15 minutes, then you're not supposed to do that. They said something over the loudspeaker about that. Anyway, other suggestions for VGC would be bring food. Bring a sandwich, bring a backpack, whatever. Bring some stuff because the food there, at mine at least, was pretty expensive. And then there was no places really within a decent walking distance because you're not going to want to leave because you want to be around for your battles. Unless you get the break. Like, we didn't get a break at ours, but if you do get a break, then I guess, whatever, then go out and what time you have to return by. But just be very careful because the last thing you want to do is miss your match. You have 5 minutes to show up. If you they'll come around and be like, okay guys, raise your hand if no one raise your hand if no one's sitting across from you. You raise your hand and they go, okay, 5 minutes for them to show up, and then if they don't show up, they'll come over and boom, immediately like check that person off. So that being said, after every match there's a little piece of paper that you fill out and you circle who won and circle who lost, and then you both initial it and turn it into the judge. You can either sit there and hold it up sometimes, or you can get up and hand it to them depending on like how crazy the room is. I typically went up and handed it because I got tired of like waiting around, but that's probably not the proper way to do things. I'm just a rude jerk and I do what I want. So that's it. Sometimes you'll have a prize match where they'll put like something like a card down or like a coin or a token. I have my token here actually. Oh, where'd it go? Around here somewhere. I don't know. I got a token from it. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Oh, don't look at my pants. Don't look at my pants. Don't look at them. All right. Well, I don't know. I can't find it. Oh, they also give you something like this. They also give you this thing. They also give you like a player card with like a number on it, and you can fill that out, and that will register like your points to your character person on the internets. So that's also another thing. Why can't I? Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, guys, I found it. There it is. So I had a match where I could either choose this little Pog looking thing that says like Pokemon Championships, which is actually really cool, or it says Long Beach something regional, or a holographic card. So I actually ended up winning the match, but I let my opponent choose what they wanted. They wanted the card, so I came away with this, which I thought was actually pretty cool because this is more unique. The card it's probably mass produced, but this was only from the regional. So got that, and shoot, what else was I gonna say when I found that? Okay, so I told you about the name thing. Yeah, because you want to register that with your account at like playpokemon.com or something like that. All right, now for the real like strategy parts of this, it's the most important thing that you can do if you want to have a strong VGC is write down your opponent's Pokemon. Like, get a little notepad. Look at this, a little notepad like that, and a writing utensil. Have it with you. Don't lose it. Maybe you get a notepad where you can kind of. I like to do this with my pen. There it goes. It just fits like right there on the side, and then you can just take it out like that. But write down your opponent's Pokemon. That's the first thing you do. The second that you can see their Pokemon, because you can't actually see their Pokemon until you link up with them, and all of a sudden you'll see it, and then you're like, oh crap, that's when the pressure starts, right? But immediately write them down. That's the best thing you can do, because you never know when there's a move that you want to use. Like say I had that Slowking, right? And I want to use Psychic, but I know he potentially could switch into Scrafty. I don't know what his other two Pokemon are, his or her other two Pokemon are, but I might not go with Psychic because I'll be like, what if he switches into Scrafty? So I'll go with Scald, even though it does 10 less damage. I would probably rather do Psychic with the stab, but I'll end up going with the Scald for the sake of not not doing any damage if he does switch into a Scrafty or something like that. I don't know. That's just one example off the top of my head. That's a really smart thing to do. What I like to do is I like to circle the Pokemon once they're in. So I'll write down all six, and then as soon as I see them, I'll circle them so I know which ones are there. Because sometimes they'll switch back out, and then you don't want to forget. You don't even want to think about that. You don't want to take not even 2 seconds out of your time to go like, oh crap, wait, which Pokemon did he switch out of? You just want to look at your sheet and go, oh, that's right, he brought, Kangaskhan or something. So other people I know try and write down move sets and things like that. They'll try and write down like maybe a move set or something that's important to them to know. I didn't do that at all because I was really concentrating on my move choices as opposed to what they could do to me. All I wanted to know was who they brought and who they could possibly switch into. That was really it. So again, the real most important thing I think that you can do that will make a difference in your game, write down the six Pokemon and circle the ones that they bring when you see them either switch or something like that. And, if you really feel the need to, you can maybe write down an ability that you see or something like that. Those are things that you really need to know. But otherwise, you should be really focusing on Pokemon you need to bring. Another really good strategy, obviously, I think this is kind of a no-brainer, but try to predict sometimes who they're going to lead with is really important because who they're going to lead with could determine who you're going to lead with. They're going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be like, who's he going to lead with? So that's another strategy that you can use for competitive battling. But in VGC, this is your most important tool right here. That's really it. It takes a while. It's kind of an all-day thing. You do 9 matches. It's Swiss rules. So the way that the ranking system works is if you beat somebody who is more skilled than you, I'm sorry, there's like a motorcycle driving by. If you beat somebody that's more skilled than you, then you kind of go up in a higher rank. Like if your overall ranking is based on your opponent's ranking. So if you beat people that win like 60% of the time, then you will be like way at the top. Your record is first and foremost. Like, whatever you get, you go 5-4, 7-2, 9-0, 8-1, whatever. If you go 9-0, you're going in. If you go 8-2, then if you go 8-1, you're probably in. 9-0, 8-1, you're pretty much guaranteed to be in those top. I think it's 32 spots. Is it 32? Top 16? 16, top 30. I can't remember. I think there was 16, 16. Yeah. Okay, so it's a total of top 32. And mine was like really weird because we had over 500 people show up. So there was 2 different brackets of 16. I came in 18th, unfortunately, but that's because my opponent's win rates weren't high enough. My opponent's win rates were like 56 point something, 58.6 or 56.8, something like that. But the person ahead of me, I think their opponent's win rate was like 57.2. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but it was something like that. So there's a little bit of luck element involved in it. Like you don't know the quality of your opponent, and also a lot of times people go home like. Say you beat some, say you're like 5-2 and they're 5-2 and you beat them and they're just like, oh, I'm going home now. I'm 5-3. I'm going to go home. Well, they're going to go 5-4, and guess what? That's going to do? Ruin your record. So those of you that lose, you guys should stick around and play because you don't realize the effect it has on other people. Don't go home. Don't go home. Play the rest of your matches out so that the people that maybe have played you earlier have a better chance, and same vice versa. If you beat them and they beat you or whatever, don't go home because it really ruins people's records later in the day. Anyway, so that's how Swiss works. You play 9 matches, and then you go into that like a top 32. If you finish in the top, and then you guys can all duke it out. In the playoff tournament. I don't know how that works. Like I said, I was 18th. I just needed to get 16th, but unfortunately I got 18th. And so I didn't end up going there, but I had a long day. It was about 12 hours there because I think it was one of the biggest VGCs ever. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. There was like 550 people or something showed up to play in the Masters division, which was pretty intense. But that's all the tips from me. If you guys enjoy the content, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more Pokemon content. All right, guys. Thank you. And I will talk to you soon. Peace. Good luck. Good luck. I said peace, but good luck is what I really meant to say. All right, later.